Why is there a parade on New Year's Day for floats made out of roses? And where do these rose-covered floats go after the parade? These are questions I probably asked my dad when I was 5, and he probably made up an answer. Well, I'm here to answer these burning questions for you today. So come explore the Rose Parade with me, and I'll let you in on a secret about where the floats go after the parade and why we even have this weird tradition. So come check it out. After the Rose Parade, they park the floats near Pasadena High School at the base of the San Gabriel Mountains for Floatfest. Here you can walk around and look at the parked floats up close and personal. Let's go take a look at the floats. I'll show you what happens to the floats after the after party later, so stay tuned. Here's Alhambra's dragon float, because 2024 is the year of the dragon. And here's the baby dragon. Isn't he so cute? We'll see lots of these giant roses made out of smaller flowers and seeds all throughout the day. I always think it's pretty amusing to see them. The parade's theme this year was celebrating a world of music, the universal language. So there's a bunch of random animals playing instruments on most of the floats. Stay tuned for a lot more floats of animals playing instruments. This is a bear playing a banjo. And more giant flowers made out of little flowers. This is the inside of the float. That's where they actually drive the float from. And they can only view through a little viewfinder. Oh, here comes another weird California Christmas tradition. Christmas boat parades. Every December, harbors all over Southern California light up with yachts parading around covered in Christmas lights. This particular float is a tribute to the Newport Beach boat parade called Jingle on the Waves. Both the Rose Parade and Christmas boat parades are rather unconventional holiday traditions that show off our unseasonably warm winter weather. I mean, nothing says winter wonderland quite like yachts and fresh-cut flowers. Fun fact. Bragging about Pasadena's unseasonably warm winter weather is actually the whole reason the Rose Parade was founded. I'm not even kidding, over 100 years ago, the Rose Parade founders literally said, in New York, people are buried in snow. Here our flowers are blooming and our oranges are about to bear. Let's hold a festival to tell the world about our paradise. So that's the whole reason why we have this floral parade tradition. Okay, let's go look at some more floats. Okay, this cutie is definitely one of my faves. Look at these little baby unicorns. But I do wonder if the quote-unquote social club who made this float knows what a unicorn actually is. Anyway, this little baby unicorn has a pacifier, and look how freaking cute that is. The baby unicorns are made of some really cool sounding flowers like lavender moon aqua carnations and green goblin carnations. But my question is, what are these silver headphones made out of? Like, what kind of organic material is actually silver? Did they spray paint these leaves or something, and is that cheating? If someone knows, please let me know in the comments if there are silver leaves in nature. As you already know, I am a big fan of the big flowers made out of little flowers, and there's a prime example on this float. These are the offending headphones. They they maybe lose points for that, despite this being one of my favorite floats. I guess all the unicorns need is love. And here's another bear playing a guitar or fiddle or violin or something. They really love animals playing instruments at the Rose Parade. And here's the Queen's float. Don't get me started on what a weird tradition this is. The Queen must be under 21 years old, unmarried, and without children. I don't know. It feels a little weird to me because, we would never do this to men, right? Here are some large flowers made of small flowers. And the chairs are definitely not made of organic material, so they lose points. Okay, next, this float is made by the renowned cancer treatment facility called City of Hope. And I really love the quote they have on the float. There is no profit in curing the body if in the process we destroy the soul. I wish insurance companies had that motto, but Anyway, the flowers are pretty. And there are lots of big flowers made of little flowers and ground rice and seeds and stuff. I really like the giant fake flower chairs. I think they're cute. I read that they used coffee grounds and parsnip seeds for the tree trunks. And it looks like the butterflies are made out of orange lentils or something. I loved these white iris flowers because I've never seen them in white before. They're always bluish purple. And I thought that was really pretty. Anyway, this one is so pretty. The flowers on the trees are gorgeous. Okay, so more floats with instruments and ducks, apparently using a keyboard as a slide, more animals and music instruments. And next up, we have everyone's favorite zany grocery store, Trader Joe's, with a choir of singing vegetables, I guess. And this is me laughing at a singing eggplant because it's an eggplant. Aw, this float. This is the Pasadena Humane Society's float. It has doggos and kittens, so of course we love it. The animal's fur is made out of straw flower petals, some types of moss, oat grasses, palm fibers, and lots of seeds like poppy, sesame, and onion seeds. I thought that was kind of interesting use of materials. Aw, this little baby wants to get adopted. Adopt them, please. Fun fact, Pasadena Humane helped over 53,000 dogs and cats find their forever homes. So please adopt, don't shop. Okay, this float really makes me think of City Slickers because it has cowgirls and the World Trade Center and the Chrysler Building and a baby cow in a boot. Look at the baby face though. It's so cute. I'm trying to point to the cow. Yes, there he is. So cute. And this next float is by the Illinois Office of Tourism. So they showcase some quirky roadside attractions that are off Route 66, like the Pink Elephant and Spaceman, plus a tribute to the Blues Brothers and Chicago's lively entertainment scene. We've traveled Route 66 a couple of times, and I just really love how weird it is, so maybe one day we should make a video about that too. Anyway, this float is by the Union Station Homeless Services. It has a bunch of bees because the theme is Be the Solution. Get it? And it features bees playing instruments because what's a parade without animals playing instruments? Very quirky. But I don't know if insects are actually animals. Are they? I don't know. Anyway, on to the next float. This one is for the Rose Bowl, like as in the football game. Fun fact, my grandpa played in the 1940 Rose Bowl for University of Nebraska. This float has more giant roses made out of kidney beans. Cool, right? And that is Pasadena High School behind the floats. Did you know Eddie Van Halen went to high school here? Here's another sports ball float. That's cool. More sports. And a giant direct TV ad. This float has giant flamingos and butterflies all over it. It has over 18,000 flowers on it, but the stones aren't made out of flowers, so in my book, they do lose some points there. Here is the City of Burbank's float, and they have some silly looking butterflies on it, and more animals with music instruments. Here we have a pooch and his piano. This cute little doggo's fur is actually made of white pampas grass and black and dark gray buffalo grass. Thought that was kind of cool. This float is another one of my favorites because I really love the colors they utilized. The pastel roses with patches of fuchsia orchids are just so pretty. I love these orchids. During the parade, I believe the horse was riding back and forth like an enchanted music box. However, they do lose some points for these mirrors because they are definitely inorganic materials. Next float is Shock and Roll, powering the musical current. And this might be the winner for me. I loved this float. It was put together by two colleges, Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. I love the color combo, the peachy corals and purples and lavenders. The electric eel and electric guitars are very cute and a clever combo. The keys on the keyboard are made of black kelp and ground rice. I just love the creative use of organic materials like dried slices of citrus fruit to create a literal coral reef with pops of purple using cabbage, kale, and dragon fruit. And there's a giant manta ray. Did you know that the oceanic manta ray can actually be 23 feet long and weigh 6,600 pounds? The one on this float is only 16 feet long. Can you imagine it being even bigger than that? I mean, that's kind of terrifying. But they are actually harmless. If you were wondering, Steve Irwin was killed by a stingray, not a manta ray. Those are only about 6 feet long, not 16 feet long. The more you know. and it actually stunned him through the heart with its poisonous tail. However, the manta ray does not have a poisonous tail and cannot harm humans. There is another kind of ray called an electric ray too, and in my opinion, it would have matched the electric eel, electric guitar, electric keyboard theme a little bit better, but I still love this giant manta ray. Okay, that's a lot of information about rays, but I think they're really cool. And the speaker just makes me feel funny. Anyway, here's the South Pasadena float. More animals and instruments this time. Jungle animals boogieing to some disco records. I guess they didn't like this Kenny Loggins record down here because they broke it. Cool fact, some of the materials on this float were collected locally, including eucalyptus bark, sycamore leaves, and bougainvillea flowers. This is a flower-powered tour bus by the city of La Cañada Flintridge. This float took a very creative spin on the music theme this year and showcases some hippies or literal flower children, get it, playing instruments. A pleasant change from the animal instrument motif we've been seeing. The giant singing snapdragon is decorated with artichokes, Brussels sprouts, and other vegetables. Did you know snapdragons are one of my favorite flowers? Also, I love that these are more giant flowers made of smaller flowers. I always wonder if the seaweed on these wheels are made of the same seaweed that I buy at Trader Joe's. I thought the use of flowers to create this tie-dye pattern on the van was really unique and creative. And you can see where they drive the van from in there. This is a tiny van for bees, for the quote, group bees, following the tour van around. Get it? It's bees, but it ran out of power, flower power. So they're gonna go charge it up because it is an electric vehicle. Anyway, next we have more musical animals, but this time it's a rapping alligator by the UPS store. These pink roses are actually called Pink Floyd roses, apparently. And I really like these pretty pink flamingos. This float used lots of edible vegetables like yellow and green bell peppers, Brussels sprouts, limes, lemons, pineapples, and even real bananas. Follow me over to the next float for Louisiana. Of course, their float is covered in flowers to represent the Mardi Gras colors of purple, green, and gold by using magenta and yellow roses, purple, green, and yellow orchids, purple and maroon carnations, and white coconut details. But why are Mardi Gras colors these colors anyway? According to the internet, purple represents justice, green faith, and gold power. I really love these colors together. Next, we have another Southern Destinations float, Florida's Fort Lauderdale, featuring manatees. These manatees are made of dark and light poppy seeds, onion seeds, ground lichen, which is a fungus mold that usually grows on trees. Did you know that manatees actually use their farts to sink and float in the water? Evolution is cool. This alligator is made out of Brussels sprouts and green seaweed. And I'm really not sure what this boat is made out of. It seems like the same thing that those headphones are made out of on the unicorn float. If someone knows what it is, please let me know in the comments. Next up, we have Coding for Veterans float. They do get points deducted because this screen is definitely not made out of flowers or organic materials, but I support helping vets find good jobs, so you get some points there. I don't know very much about these jets, but the flowers are gorgeous on this float. And next up, we have more planes and cars and stuff. This is Honda's float, and it showcases a bunch of electric vehicles of the future. Honda has been providing vehicles for the parade for over 60 years, and I guess they just went rogue and were like, screw the music theme, we're just gonna showcase vehicles, apparently. This lady is that pink organ donor dot that you can put on your driver's license, but in real life. So that's kind of cool. This float is by One Legacy Donate Life, a group that saves lives through organ donation. Many of the flowers on this float are dedicated to those who have donated their organs. And these portraits are also folks who donated organs to save lives too. My cousin Hayden has a flower dedicated to him somewhere on that float. Okay, back to more jolly animals. Up next is a float by the Boys and Girls Club. The elephant is decorated with a combination of blue, purple, and pink statice, which are tiny flowers that look kind of like baby breath. And the mouse is made of lettuce seeds, ground Spanish moss, corn husks, and onion seeds. And surprise, surprise, more animals. This is the San Diego Zoo's float, so of course they're gonna have animals. And yes, the lion really roars. And I don't know what else to say about this. There are a lot of flamingos in this parade, and I am unsure why. I think there were 4 floats or 3 floats with flamingos. If you kept track, please let me know how many floats had flamingos. All right, thank you so much for watching this far. Time for the big reveal of what happens to the floats after the after party or Floatfest. After the after party, they drive the floats back to the warehouses where they built them in, and they dismantle them. They take all the fruit, flowers, organic materials off of the floats. They grind that up into mulch. They take the steel skeleton that is underneath and chop that up and sell it as scrap metal. And the entire process of taking it apart and dismantling it takes about a day and a half, even though the entire building process takes weeks and weeks and weeks. If you are really interested in this, there is an episode of Dirty Jobs that you can find all about it. They go into detail and show all the moldy fruit and rotting flowers being ripped off of the floats. And yeah, it's nice and dramatic. You can watch that if you are so interested. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up here and say goodbye. Okay, thanks for coming to Floatfest with me. What were your favorite floats? Let me know in the comments. Mine were the cute baby pastel unicorns, the shock and roll Menary float, and the 60s flower power one. All right, until next time. Bye-bye. Okay, bye. Okay, go away. I'm gonna get some food now. Bye.